Hello and welcome back. Today it's Fluke Friday and where I show every time a different series of the Fluke multimeters, temperature meters, frequency counter, and I'm just going in the numbers. I'm going up, and today we have the Fluke multimeter. It's the 12B. Little disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Fluke. These items are not original, but I made this for the purpose of this video because I'm a fan and of course because of the copyright. It will not be for sale. So the 12B, well, the last time I show the 7 series, the 10, 11 and the 12, and now we also have a 12B. And if we have a closer look, you can see they almost look the same. So here it is, the 12B. Well, this one I found on eBay, but it needs a lot of cleaning. But I was just happy that I could find one. And when I saw it the first time, I thought, why is it a higher number, like 12, the 12B? Why is it higher, newer? And they have a turning knob instead of push buttons. Because if we look at the normal 12 here, then, well, here we have a 3 position switch and 4 selection buttons, but here also, if you look at it, it's just that I put a knob on top and they have the same. Only the selection buttons are a little smaller, so maybe there's some different wiring in the inside, but I would not expect a lot different. But the color looks a lot more like the normal 7 series. So it almost looked that I wanted to make an easy tester like this one, like the 7600, only with the options of the 12. So it would be easy to operate for any operator. And yes, if you don't look at the buttons, because here you maybe get confused because it is really there, all the buttons. But if you just put it in the voltage, you can measure voltage. And if you put it in this mode, this is again this low impedance automatic mode. If it detects above 4.5 volts AC or DC, it will switch automatically over, exactly like this one. This one also has that, but it is less obvious it has that. So yeah, I would think that it is I think nice for an intern or when you're starting electronics. This one selects everything, but still you have the options of the 12. So looking at them from the top, well, first of all, it's very dirty and we can clean that, but from the side and from the back, I would not be surprised if it is exactly the same inside, especially when you compare it to the 12, but I already tried to compare the boards, and the boards even seem the same. It's just that the buttons are different. So I have another 10, so I will open that one to compare that. That one also needs cleaning, so then I can do 2 in 1. And I'm really wondering if I can get this one just as nice as this one also. I also had a set of cables with it. This official Fluke, but yeah, they look just as good. I think it's maybe used in a car shop because of all the oil, or it is just in a production environment. But I'm sure we can make it look a lot better. I only hope that I can get these numbers off. But yeah, we should at least get it a lot cleaner. Use a lot of FIPA, isopropanol alcohol, and then we will make it look better. But first I like to do some tests. So first we're gonna do some testing. I have my DMM Check Plus. It is exactly 5 volts measured on I think 7.5 or 8.5 multimeter. It also has AC, but it is a square wave. So this one is an average meter, not through RMS, so it will not measure correct. But it also has some capacitors and some precision resistors, so we can measure with that. Also, I have here my process calibrator, the LBO2A. Use it a lot of time, and you can also measure DC voltage and resistance even, and some current, but this meter doesn't measure current. So let's have a look. So okay, to battery to display, I have an older 10 here that I also want to clean. And can we see that? Probably like this. We can see the display a little bit better. Put it to the voltage. Yes, perfect. My LBO2. Let's put that to 3.5 volts, and then we see if it is indeed also 4000 counts. Okay, 3.6 volt. Let's see. Well, in the auto mode it will probably not switch over. Let's first see in the DC. 3.6, well, I would say this is 3.6. Let's go up. Here we are at the point of the 4000 counts. Will it do a little bit more? No, it will just switch over. Okay, 4000 counts, nothing wrong with that. Value seems, by the way, nothing wrong. And what would be interesting also is this auto mode. If I switch it over, it is now in low impedance, and it is in ohms mode, and it is in continuity, so it's beeping, but it detects that there is already some voltage, and it will switch automatically over. And the value is a little bit low. That is normal because of the 2K impedance, and you see the value is slightly different because of the 2K, because if I switch it over to this, it will probably be correct. Yes, and now it's 10 meg. Let's try AC later and do some ohms. I can just switch it over to this, and now I say, okay, let's measure some ohms. Continuity. It is still beeping. Let's go up a bit. Okay, now it stops. The ohms is, let me switch over to ohms mode here. Now, well, that is okay. Let's go a bit higher. 300, yeah, that's near. Go to 500. I would say that is 500. $1K is exactly 1K. I saw that also with the 10 and the 11 and the 12, that the ohms measurement is really spot on. And the voltage was usually 1 digit up or 1 digit down. And when it switches on a bit longer, it gets better. So if I switch it back, 4 volts, no problem there. Okay, the DMM check plus. I will put it in the high impedance mode. First, just DC. And it is indeed exactly 5 volts, no problems there. I think if I put it in the lower impedance mode, it will probably just do a little bit less because of the impedance, but maybe not. Yes, you see, that is just the load of the low Z. It says here in the bottom, a low Z. It's a low impedance because of the automatic mode. Here it's high impedance and it's spot on. Let's try some AC, and it will not be correct because it's not true RMS. Switch it over to AC, and what we expected, it is higher because in average it is more. And we can also do some resistor testing. Let's go to ohms. In auto mode it is, well, let's see, some precision, 100 ohms. 100, 1K, yes, 10K, perfect. I saw that also in the others, they are very good with that. And let's see if we can do some caps. That was not a problem. Let me see. Caps mode, 1 microfarad. It is 0.1. That is 0.1. 0.01. that is, yeah, and the other one is probably too low because that last one we are not going to see, I think. Yeah, we see. That worked better than my 10, 11, and 12, by the way. And now it's 0. Yeah, it does. Actually, does that very well. So then this 12B does exactly the same as the 11 and the 12 of the other series. But it actually says 12 now, and the biggest difference between the 11 and the 12 was that there was this min-max version with also time locking when that happens. So let's see if that works exactly the same. Okay, the min-max. We want the out of ranging, so we put it in the middle. Then I put 5 volt here on the LBO2, so we should have 5 volts. If I now activate the min-max, it is now activated and the scale is locked, or it's in manual ranging. Now if we do a little up, it will register that and beep. If I go down and I go back up, it doesn't beep because the last highest registered was already this value. Well, but if we go one higher, it will beep again. So there is a new max. If we go down, we have now a new minimum. It will beep. New minimum, it will beep. If I go up again, no beeping because we have no new lowest or new highest. Okay, that's it. Now we should be able to scroll through it. So the maximum we measured was 532. Apparently that is an overshoot. And the minimum was also the 0.02 overshoot. We saw exactly the same in the 12 also. And currently it is 5. So keep pushing. We switch it on. Now we can apply the voltage. It will get to the scale where we want it to be, and now by putting the min max, it will hold this range. So now we push it. Okay, here we go again. And now we need to wait a minute, but I will, because the time that we see is in minutes. I'm not sure I waited long enough, but what we can do is now put the min max. So this was the maximum registered. And now we have the time, how much minutes ago it was. Now we have the minimum and how many minutes ago that was registered. But I don't think we waited long enough. But you can see that it has the same options. It will just display the time in minutes, and it can be a lot of hours. So in that sense, all the specifications are exactly the same as the normal 12, and the only difference is the rotating knob and that the buttons became smaller. So if you don't know exactly what you are doing, exactly like with this one, you just put it to the auto mode and you just probe, and you don't get confused with the buttons that were in your face because they are very prominent available here. While in this one, it is there, but you don't necessarily need to push them. So I want to see the inside if the board is also the same. We saw that the 10 and the 11 and the 12, that the main board was the same. Only the buttons were different, and the casing, of course, to make space for the buttons. But the rest was the same. The only difference between the board was if it was Cat3 rated or not. And the non-Cat3 rated boards looked a little bit older. Well, this one is Cat3 rated, but my older 10 is not. So, but I want to open this anyway to clean this one and this one also. So let's see. But if the board is different, then I just open my real 12. Okay, the screws are out. Well, so it was really nicely yellow. The inside is still clean. there is a slight difference, but you can already see that it is a newer generation also. This is RFT, this is RFR. So they are very closely matched, but yeah, pretty sure if we exchange the board that it will do exactly the same. Well, we can have a look on the other side. Let me just try to pop the boards. Start with this one. You can do like this. And like this. Slightly on the top. And there it should go. Yep, there it is. And for the knobs, this little zebra. Yeah, I expect nothing less in the other also. Go here. Here. In the top. Same here. Well, that is exactly the same. No surprise there. Well, even if you look at the knobs, because this is really sliding. Cluck, cluck. But this turning knob is also just sliding. So that switch is even exactly the same. So let's open it some further. Yeah, if you're wondering why are you not showing the boards in detail, I did that in my former edition, in my second episode of the 10 and 11 and 12. So if you are interested in seeing the boards in a bit more detail, you can watch that one. Now I'm just trying to open this. So I removed it. Well, here the 4 buttons are connected to the zebra, and here is done exactly the same. Even this is the same, only here it is a slider, and here it is something that just goes into the turning knob, so it does exactly the same. Well, it just goes out, so we can clean that also properly. This sliding knob, you can also only put one way, okay, because it doesn't go like this, so cannot make a mistake there. I was only hoping that I could completely remove this knob for a proper clean, but then I will just have to use a brush or something to go in between, because I am not sure if I pull this that I can pull it back in. I'm not risking that. Yeah, I'm trying it. Maybe that it is pushed in, but it seemed glued. There is now, I cannot turn it. It is stuck, so I'm not touching that. Just leaving it, and then I just need to try to clean it anyway. So I managed mostly to clean with the IPA, the alcohol, and it is clean. But there were some spots that really had a lot of oil, and that didn't work with alcohol. And I took it to the sink downstairs to the kitchen, and I used that. Yeah, it's a white sanding paste that you use to clean your sink or stainless steel, and then it's kind of a polish. And I managed to polish even the white text is gone. But you need to be careful, you cannot polish with that stuff the display, but then you get really scratches. And so I did that also with the Bresso, with the copper cleaner. And it's a brush cleaner. And you can use that to polish also plastic, because I don't have that special. One of my viewers said you have that special plastic polish, so I need to look for that. I still use the brush cleaner. I learned that, I don't know, 35 years ago at school. I'm still doing that, and it works perfect. Most of the scratches are gone. So let's put them back together. And maybe it's some noise from outside, but I needed to open the window a bit because of all the alcohol I use. I put a little bit of Windex just to clean screen in and outside. Is it dry? Yes. Okay. We have these buttons to the off position. Then we have the knobs. The same, I also clean that. That goes in there. Then we have the display. I just keep the Sabro on it. It doesn't have any dust. It just falls into a slot. That's it. Then I try to put the plastic in. Careful for the zebra, but it usually just goes. Yeah. That's all in. Sometimes you can see the print, and I think it was like this. Put the other zebra in. Looks good. To the off position. Put the board back in. Looks all clean. I'm not going to touch that. You usually do more damage to the contacts than you actually clean it. If it was working, then just don't touch it. Okay. Looks good. Let's try the battery. Nice. All works. Perfect. So I even managed to clean the terminals. Well, they are not like new, but yeah, I think it's close. There's the real Fluke brand on it. And well, it looks a lot better. And I think we have a very nice meter like this. Like new. So when we have a closer look, I think it improved a lot. I think it's near as it was new. I still need to do some more polishing because you can still see a light scratch in the display. But if you look in the side, the numbers are gone. And the dirt, of course, also. This is like almost as new. Here also the text is gone. It's almost as new as my 7. Look at that, yellowish yellow. So here we have them all. The 7, 600, the 10, 11, 12, and the latest 12B. So that was episode 3 of the Fluke Friday. We had the 12B. Next time I was thinking doing the 21 and the 23 because there is a series in between that is, I think, the 14, 15 and the 16. I don't have those. I can find maybe a few pictures and I will show them then. But next time, the 21 and the 23. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.